tough game, competitive game. In the end, just didn't make enough plays to get the outcome we want. Gave up some big plays there right before the 2-minute at the end of the half, and those are game-changing plays that we need to make.
Coach, on those plays where they third down, they have the long passes out there, is it technique? Is it just blown coverage? What was the take on it?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the particulars, but we didn't end up making them. So, that's the tough part about it. Those were some big plays, but make no excuse, they made them and we didn't.
What do you say to your team in there at 2-7 now at
Yeah.
this point of the season?
Well, I just talk about this game. So there's opportunities that we had that we didn't capitalize on, and that's why we got the results we got.
You see, the first half was unusual. You guys ran very well.
Yeah.
And, at times you seemed very hesitant to have Daniel throw the ball. Was that, because of that?
No, we were productive running the ball, like 7 yards a carry, so we kept doing that. We had the one touchdown on a play-action pass on goal line. We threw 2 screens, but we were productive moving the football. We turned the ball over on the one screen, so that was part of the plan. I thought the guys did a good job of executing, being physical at the line of scrimmage, controlling the line of scrimmage. That was the reason.
With all that, though, it was only 7. You were down 14 points.
Yeah, we gave up that one where we drove down, and then had one punt. I think we punted.
What was your take on Slate?
I don't know. You have to ask the officials.
What do they tell you?
It's a penalty.
With how well you're running the ball, any regret about calling a pass play there when you're getting chunk run, then you have the turnover on the pass play?
No, it was a screen. I mean, we had a huge play that they made a play on it. I mean, it would have been a pretty good play.
Babes, with the 2-point intent, is that an analytics thing, or is that something explain your thought process there instead of just making it a 7-point game?
Yeah, something that we talk about during the week, and when we get into that situation, that's what we're going to do. But it's analytics based. Yeah.
Thank you.
At what point does, you guys haven't been very successful with those 2-point plays. At what point does that kind of take over from the
Yeah, I felt good about what we had, and they did a good job of stopping it.
You had the top 3 timeouts there. Why not use the timeout for the front side of the 2-minute warning?
It was 42 seconds, so they had to snap the ball, and we save them after that. If it was underneath a certain amount, we would have used it. If it was over a certain amount when the ball hit, we weren't going to use it, let it go.
Thinking when you don't really throw the ball down the field in the first half, I know you were productive, but it only produces 7 points, right? The thinking is that, hey, it shows a lack of confidence of some sorts in your quarterback that you can make big plays down the field in that regard.
Yeah, we were averaging 7 points a yard running the ball. We felt comfortable. That was the plan coming into the game, was we wanted to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and has nothing to do with Daniel throwing it or not throwing it.
Why don't you think the pass rush got home today the way it has been?
Yeah, I don't think we didn't have any sacks, right? Yeah, we didn't have any sacks, we didn't have any turnovers, so not good enough.
What happened to Greg Joseph?
He got hurt.
In practice? Or?
Yeah.
There's a lot of kickers that have been injured in practice lately. Is there anything that you can do about that you see that keeps happening?
No.
Could you talk a little bit about the touchdown that you ran for it?
Yeah, just a zone read play there. Thought it was a good call down there, and just try to do what you can to get in the end zone in those situations.
What do you hope to improve before the next game?
Well, I think obviously the turnover was critical, so look to see where we can do a better job there. And I thought we moved the ball well, ran the ball well. Our action game and some of that stuff in the second half was productive. Obviously a couple 3-and-outs. So look to see where we can improve those situations. Just overall have to be better.
When you score on that running touchdown, what's going through your head as you spike the ball?
Just excited to score. big point in the game where we needed a touchdown, and yeah, just excited to get in.
How frustrating is it to have yet another loss and just can't close it out?
Yeah, very frustrating. I think, yeah, tough position. We got to find a way to make some more plays and win these games. So yeah, very frustrating.
I'm sorry if this was asked before I got here. Were you surprised by the run pass balance in the first half? You guys were running the ball well, but hardly passing at all. What did you think about that mix of play calling?
I knew we wanted to run the ball in this game. That was part of the game plan. I think the way it played out, maybe didn't expect it to run it that much, but we were running it really well and effectively, moving the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, and Dave's obviously felt that was working for us, and it was. So we stuck with it, and I thought it was pretty good.
I know the coach is in charge of arguing with officials, not you. But what did you think about that call on that pick play on Slayton? Did you see?
I haven't really seen it yet. I'll go back and watch the film. You're on the 2-yard line right there. The rule, you can make contact within one yard of the line of scrimmage. So see what it looked like on film. But Slade's pretty good. Wan'Dale's pretty good in those situations. So I'll go back and look and see what it looks like.
Does running the ball that much that early take away anything from the rhythm you might have needed later for the pass game?
I don't think so. I think if anything, it helped later with some of the play action stuff that worked, controlling the line of scrimmage. We run the ball well, so we stuck with it.
Did you feel your offense gave you a chance? I think offense played well enough for us to win. Defense just got beat up today.
What happened? Why the past few games you guys been able to get to the quarterback with no problem. Today you guys weren't able to touch J.D. Daniels.
They had a lot of chippers. He sits he catches the ball at 7, sits back at 12, and they was chipping. So he's gotten very comfortable real quick with the game, and he did a good job evading the pressure.
When you were sitting here with Brian, you looked very frustrated. Is that how you feel?
Don't worry. If I'm talking to my teammate, there ain't nothing for you to be concerned about. We just talking about the game and what we're gonna do to be better.
When you look at the big picture of 2-7, where do you take this from here as a leader?
We gotta be more precise. I think as a team and as individuals, we gotta understand the game a little more. Understand why certain things being called. Understand the importance of situations in the game and momentum shifts in the game. We haven't been good at that, and that's the thing.
How do you keep the guys hungry, motivated? What's the trick in terms of
just understanding your why you play this sport and who you do it for, and we grown out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be able to motivate ourselves and just play a simple game of football. That's it. My message is you just playing organized backyard football, and that's the approach that should be taken. Just to ease if there is any, anxiety or anything like that, just to ease it and come ready to play.
Dex, did you feel in this game the way the offense was coming back in the second half, your offense, that you guys were maybe one stop away from?
They gave us a chance to win, and we didn't take advantage of it.
I mean, that's hard, right? Because
they gave us a chance to win, and we didn't take advantage of it.
As a receiver, what's that like when you throw for 0 yards in the first half?
We're running the ball well. So, obviously we would have liked to get passes, but if the running game's working, I'm here to win. So if that's going to help us win, then no problem.
How much of that was the game plan? Like coming in, right? Hey, we got to possess the ball.
Definitely. That's how I feel like every game should kind of start out. You want to start up front and set the tone there. And if they're going to let you run the ball, why different from it. So obviously the run game is going to help open the pass game. So we know how important it is for us to be able to run the ball, and if it's working, why stop?
Because you scored 7 points. That would be the argument against it, right? Hey, you only scored 7 points, though. All that work.
Yeah,
The point is you're not getting the points because you're not getting those big plays downfield.
That's also very true. So, I mean, it's a mix of what you got to do. You got to be able to run and pass. And obviously, you know, we would like to have those passes down there in the red zone just to give us an opportunity. But it's just what it is.
Is that maybe the best you felt about the passing game then in the flip side in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're down a little bit, so we obviously have to throw it a little bit more. And we obviously felt like we were able to throw it all right. So.
What do you make about this team being at 2-7 now for the second straight year? What's that like for you guys, and how do you kind of compartmentalize that forward?
I mean, just got to move on to the next week. Don't really try to look at it like this is last year or anything. So, completely different team, not the same guys. So, at the end of the day, just got to keep coming to work each and every week, and we can look forward to each and every Sunday. So.
You know, you said last week that you wanted to see this team grow up. How did you feel like you guys did with that this week?
Grew up in ways, not so much in other ways.
How so? Like, where did you see the progress, and where did you see not enough?
You got to watch the film to dissect that.
How frustrating is it to be in this position, yet again answering these questions?
Very.
You and Dex are over there after the game, you know, 30, 40 minutes after it's over, kind of still in your uniform and stuff. Mm-hmm. What are you guys going over there, and are you just, you know, kind of expressing your frustration to each other?
Just talking over the game, things that happen, things we need to change for this week coming up. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
What do you think needs to change?
I'll probably keep what me and Dex said disclosed, respectfully.
Brian, last week you said a lot of the details, small things need to be cleaned up. Was that still part of the issue today?
Yep. I tip my hat off to the Commanders. They played a clean game, good game. It was they executed well. You know, they made more plays than we did, but yeah, man, it just comes down to the details and you know, taking a step further in your preparation. I feel like those are the things we're missing.
Why do you think that's still? I know it's just 1 week later, but you know, it's a week to week. Why do you think that's still an issue with the details?
I don't have those answers yet.
Are you kind of searching for answers in general? Like, do you know what needs to be fixed, or is it tough to put your finger on it?
You know what needs to be fixed. Like I just said, it's the details. But at the same time, you know, it just comes down to making more plays than the other team.
What do you think of Jaden Daniels today?
He's impressive. I feel like the game is already slowed down for him to a certain extent. He seems very poised. He seems like he's in control. They did a good job of, you know, trying to slow down our line, you know, with the chips and all that other stuff that they did. So, yeah, they had a good game plan. They executed well.
When you came here, obviously you came from a situation where there was a lot of losing in Carolina. How much were you hoping that this would change for you, and the fact that it hasn't, how tough has that been to swallow, considering you're a guy who, you know, I felt like perhaps you had come through that, you know, arrived in a better setting?
It's the NFL, man. You know, every week is its own week, and you know, coming from where I came from to now, of course I had a more positive outlook on things that I could turn my career around, you know, and start winning some ball games and, you know, finally get to the playoffs and whatnot. You know, but like I said, it's the NFL. Just got to go as it go. You know what I'm saying? You can't get too high, can't get too low. You go.
When does it get too late to turn it around this season? Is there such a thing? Is there a moment where?
I'm not sure. That's too soon to say. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Do you still believe that this can be fixed? Do you still believe that the
NFL, stranger things have happened. You know, people go on runs all the time. So, you know, just a week ago there was a lot of 2-6 teams and whatnot. So, it's just on us to, capitalize off our opportunities.
But do you think this is a group or a team, knowing what you know about it behind closed doors, that could go on a run and turn things around?
Definitely.
Azeez has been the subject of trade talks. He's played well, so there's that. What would you think if he was not here after Tuesday?
I mean, I'm always going to want, somebody that's been in my room since OTAs to be here. You know what I'm saying? Just the bond that I've built with him. And, him as a player, like we've been able to accomplish some good things, these past 4 weeks. I'm proud of him, but, it's a business first, so I understand how things work. But, I would always want him here for sure.
How much do you put today on the pass rush's inability to get to Jaden? Or do you think it was just kind of a full effort there, like defensively?
I feel like defensively it was all over. Like I said, everything works and flows as one. So everybody has to be on the same accord to, execute at a high level, and that's not what we did.
Brian, did they do anything different up front, protection-wise, today?
It chipped all game. And usually it's one side and maybe like 4 hands on decks, but this time I feel like they were chipping both sides, 4 hands on decks, and, really trying to put emphasis on, stopping our rush, probably especially because Jaden's a little banged up, so it made sense.
Brian, do you worry that if you guys don't start winning soon, there could be a coaching change here after the season?
That's not on my mind.
We asked you earlier about your journey here and where you come from. Obviously, you're playing the Panthers next week. It's a game you probably had circled for a while. You going in with the same record as them. I don't even know who's going to be favored in this game.
They won today.
They won today. Yeah. What what does this mean for you? I'm sure you thought you would be in a much better place than they are at this point.
It's another game. I'm not trying to blow it up to be all that it is, but I'm gonna prepare the same way I always do, and go out there and plan to dominate. So.
John, the second drive of the first quarter, you guys went right down the field over 70 yards and ran the ball extremely well. What was going well there, and why couldn't you sustain it?
Yeah, we did pretty well against them in the run when we played them in week 2, and we knew against this style of defense we were gonna have to do that. And I think we handled them pretty well up front in the run game. I felt like we held up decent in the pass game, and just little things here and there kind of stopped our offensive drives. I felt like we were moving the ball really well, but a couple of 3-and-outs there and giving the defense short rest, kind of our fault. But moved the ball well, sustained drives. I think we had like 3 15-plus play drives. That's good offense, but we need to more consistently. We can't have 15 play drives and not score, and we can't go 3-and-out. And it's just building that consistency, and I see it getting better every week. That was a good team we played, and they out-executed us today, for sure.
You guys had 2 fourth-quarter touchdown drives as you tried to rally. How inspiring was that, even though you fell short? Did you think at those moments that you might be able to pull this off?
Yeah, we went out there, didn't matter the score. This is a very prideful offense, and we're going to do what it takes to win. And we knew we had to go down there and score, and 2-point conversions are kind of not doing us any favors this year. I feel like these are things that we need to get, especially crunch time situation these past 2 weeks, being down 14 in the fourth. I agree going for 2 in that scenario, and we got to make it a tighter game than that, and not putting ourselves in that position. But when we needed it, I think the offense stepped up, but we kind of need that execution throughout the rest of the game, not just kind of sit back and wait for the fourth quarter and try to make some stuff happen. And overall, I felt like we did move the ball well, but like you said, there's always more. There's just always more out there for us to do and get better at.
You guys were really strong in the red zone that first matchup with them. What was different today?
I feel, like I said, I feel like we didn't execute enough. We got to be better, and they're doing the job to full tilt, and we got to come back and improve for the next game, I feel like.
Yeah, do you guys feel like in a game where the offense really showed up, scored 3 touchdowns for you guys, that you guys not being able to get pressure on the quarterback and things like that, like, is this loss sort of on you guys, do you feel like? Or?
Yeah, I know it's a team game, we're one team, and I feel like we just got to, when you're out there, we got to execute, and we didn't do that today. Props to them, they did that. We just got to come back next week and prepare better and be ready to go for Carolina. Thanks. That's all I feel like.
What was so hard in getting pressure on Daniels today?
I mean, he's fast, he's elusive. We just got to be better. I feel like we just got to play better. Whatever it is, execute. They had chips, but no excuses. We still got to continue to try to get there and put pressure on them.